And I think having seen both sides, I came to this realization that many times we
No.
read and we're like, oh, this is mentioned in Kitab al-Fulani that the Sufis are like that, or this is mentioned in Kitab al-Fulani that Salafis are like that. But I was that unique person that actually got to sit with some of the mashayikh, and I was like, wait a minute, they don't believe in that. It's
Mm.
just a few of them that become famous, but the ulama of them, they're very athari. Like
SubhanAllah.
they are Athari creed. Like, my Sheikh Muhammad Al Khudayri, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take him out of the prison. He's been in prison. Today, in every phone app, the Gharib Al Quran, if you go into the phone apps and it says the word meanings of the Quran, it actually comes, he's the one who wrote that. Muhammad Al Khudayri, he is the writer
Ajib.
of that. To make people understand the Quran in basic understanding. When I traveled with him, wallahi, I was ashamed to call myself a talib al-ilm in front of his ibadah.
SubhanAllah.
Right? Like somebody who gets up at 3 o'clock at night after traveling for 3 hours and arriving at
SubhanAllah.
12 o'clock, and then waking me up, and this is me, talib al-ilm, sleeping in his bed, enjoying his life. I'm like, the sheikh is like, Ya Ahmed, salat. Right? And but those days, I'm like, there's no way. And then we sit in the car, and I'm like, I'm going to ask them, sheikh. And then the entire 2 hours, he didn't speak to me. He was doing his adhkar, his litanies. He's a Salafi sheikh.
SubhanAllah.
Like, there's no way you can be connected to that sunnah. Yes, there are variances, as we all have variances on this side. There's also variances on that side, and I think that
SubhanAllah.
is something we must appreciate and understand that not all of them can be stroked with one brush, right? And
And
alhamdulillah, I got that blessing to be able to see the both sides, the balanced versions of both sides. Alhamdulillah.
I'm telling you, the it all goes back to the intent. Are you intending to enjoy? There's a ladha in hating somebody.
Subhanallah.
It's true. There's a ladha in our group hates that group.
Yeah.
That is a terrible ladha. That is, Imam al-Haddad said, ladhatul qili wal qal. The
Subhanallah.
ladha of backbiting, of destroying, of taking down. And in reverse, what we're doing is elevating ourselves.
Subhanallah. Abu Hanifa's
Yeah.
son Abu Hanifa saw his son argue with someone. So he rebuked him. So he says, yeah, I think it's either Abu Hanifa or Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Don't quote me on that. It's one of the two. So he said, oh, my dad, I've always seen you argue with other people and argue in a good manner. Jidal, yani, مو jidal, munaqasha, right?
Yeah.
Munadhara on concept. So he said, yes, the difference is, my son, in your intention, I can see that you want to defeat him.
Subhanallah.
In
Subhanallah.
my intention, when I would argue, my intention was that I shouldn't move so that I don't want to confuse my opponent and hopefully he wins,
Yeah. Yeah. And
right?
that's where a lot of these brothers said the debate scene hardened my heart, so I left it. Right.
Subhanallah.
But the
Yeah.
same brothers, when it's like a local community member with husna niyyah, good intention back and forth, they always engage in this.
SubhanAllah.
Good intention back and forth. Their heart, you have to be able to have, and Sheikh Muhammad al-Yaqubi used to say, an antenna. Antennas on the TV. You need to have an antenna of where is my heart moving.
SubhanAllah.
And if it ever moves to kibr or separation, then you know Iblis has taken over the event,
SubhanAllah.
the
SubhanAllah.
discussion. But if
SubhanAllah.
it moves towards strong dua to bring our hearts together, not naively by burying the issue. This is just naivete, but by
Yeah.
bringing out the truth
Yeah.
and being
Your
open to the
truth.
yeah.
And being open to listen to
And
the other
yeah,
side.
being open to the fact of what is qat'i in our religion, what is khilafi, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have success 9 times out of
Inshallah.
10.
Yeah.
And that's what our point is here. Our point is here to, there are a lot of essential students. As you know, we're starting our academic year online.
Darul
Some of the
Fajr.
brothers, and when essential starts, we're starting tonight at 7 o'clock at Maghrib, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah.
And when we do this, you have to have the intention of purifying your intent towards the mukhalifin. Mukhalifin, as long as it's within the parameters of the sunnah, broadly speaking. Yeah,
احتمالات دارجة في الآية يعني.
exactly. There's ihtimalat in the dhanni evidences,
Yes.
and you have to understand that, right? So if you don't know what those are, then we'll just say, have a clean heart towards everyone until you learn, right?
SubhanAllah.
And have a clean, and that's the best example. And Habib Abdul Qadir al-Saqaf has he said that the dua, which is a sunnah, Allahumma adhib ghayza qalbi wa ajirni min mudillat al-fitan. Oh Allah, remove the anger of my heart and
SubhanAllah.
protect me from the tribulations that lead people astray. If you say
SubhanAllah.
it 7 times a day, he said, very slowly, the hiddah. The hiddah is the sharpness
The
of your heart. Some people,
edginess, the
yeah, the
edginess.
edginess of your heart, the porcupine aspect of your personality will slowly, like some people's feet are like, they destroy any sheet that they sleep in, right? Their feet are so cut up. They work hard, whatever. But you can soften that with these machines. Bzz, remove all the edges
Dead
off of
skin.
it.
Dead
Then you
skin.
have a smooth surface, like sanding a table down. You can sand your heart down and remove that edginess. All right, let's now turn in our first segment now. That's our introduction on the
Inshallah.
importance of purifying our heart towards others. And if you're gonna love, if you're one of those who loves Rabiul Awwal as the month of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is greater than anything else. Just to have a pure husn niyyah and a pure heart towards every Muslim. And by the way, it may not be reciprocated. Here's the key. You may say, okay, I did it, but he didn't reciprocate. We have sabr then. We have sabr. Allah created the khalq and they cursed him back. A'udhu billah. The messenger is the greatest of all in his husn niyyah towards the people, and the people until today he is attacked by people. There's no human being more attacked on the earth than the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Allah.
So we have to have sabr with when people don't reciprocate that husn niyyah. They're going to say, "Oh no, you're all innovative." But khalas, no problem. You have
Right.
sabr with that.
Rasulullah used to say, فَلَعَلَّكَ, Allah said, فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ. That the fact that the people walked away from
Yep.
his message. The word athar is like an imagery here, right? That they were listening to him, they turned around, and Rasulullah is being hurt because they walked away, and he's looking at the footsteps of these people. And he's saying,
Subhanallah.
why would you walk away from this?
Subhanallah.
Why would you walk away from this? So
Subhanallah.
it may not be reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
Some people may not take that love. Again, it's something.
That's it. You
But
have to
again,
just have sabr with it.
I think
Yes.
I think to introduce this topic, I think the ayah that I think we can begin with is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِتُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَتُعَزِّرُوهُ وَتُوَقِّرُوهُ وَتُسَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا. Right? And this ayah that you may believe in Allah and His Messenger, and that you may venerate Him and you may honor Him, do waqar of Him, tawqir of Him. وَتُسَبِّحُوهُ, and you sanctify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bukratan in the morning and asila towards the end of the night. This is really interesting because if you read the tafsir books,